What's going on, guys? I got a new program I'm going to run by you. You know how I usually do my walking with Brandon? Well, occasionally I think I'm just going to start doing drinking with Brandon. So here's to you and yours. I just rode my bicycle with my oldest daughter around the neighborhood, and our neighborhood is like this in the mountains. It is a chore. And so I'm not walking tonight. I'm sitting and drinking. So it'll be drinking with Brandon. We'll just alternate in between. And here's what we're going to make this about. I'm going to call this the BS session. The BS session. You know how when you're sitting around with your guy friends and you're just BSing? It's going to be a BS session. So if you came and sat on my back porch, maybe we'd talk about something like this. Who knows? So, what have I been up to? You know, typically if people watch you on YouTube, they want to know, what you been up to? What's going on? What's going on in your life? So, I had a great webinar today with Brandon Pierpont. We had like 99 people there, I guess whatever the Zoom capacity is. And it was about getting winter work. Had lots of good questions. It was fun to put it together. I'm always eager to talk to people about stuff like that because I know it can be done. It's not there to be consumed as education. It's there to be consumed for implementation. And so that was good. What's going on this weekend? We got a live music event up here on Signal Mountain called Smoke on the Mountain. And they have lots of live bands, and it's just like 3 miles down the road from my house. I could ride my bicycle there if I wanted to. Getting ready for a few vacations, one in Boston with our church group, and I've got to speak in Tennessee on a non-painting related thing for a big Freedom Fest up in Loudon, Tennessee. And then the kids are homeschooling. So we've started that process, and the kids go 2 days a week, and we teach them when they're not in those co-op days. And so Kristen's been doing a fantastic job with that. It's taken a little bit of getting used to, getting in the rhythm, but we're getting there. So I'm teaching my oldest, you're not going to believe this, time blocking and time management, because kids don't get taught that. And a lot of owners don't get taught that. That's why we have a time management course, because I've discovered over the years that when people can't manage their time, they virtually can't do anything else, because the success is relegated and regulated by the investment of the owner's time consistently on very difficult projects. I mean, to them, difficult, new, to improve the business. So we're working on time management. My oldest is learning her letters. Not oldest, my youngest is learning her letters. And she's doing pretty good at it. She make the sounds. She pick out the numbers. I mean, we're getting there. She's 6 years old. I think kids get taught and put under too much pressure too early to learn. I think sometimes studies have shown that when kids get put into school too early with too much work, they develop like a resentment, and they don't do as well in the educational environment as ones that start a little later. And I think sometimes we tried to move too far too fast with Sylvia early, and it kind of took a restart. So, you know, you learn lessons when you're a parent and apply them later better, or so you hope. I guess your second kid should get better parenting than your first, you would think. Anyway, what else is new? We're moving into the busy season, guys. For me, not you. I'm sorry. You're not moving into the busy season. You're moving into the slow-ass season. I'm moving into the busy season because when y'all are slow, I'm busy. And so gearing up for the Painting Profit Summit, which is the last weekend in January. It should be a fun event. What else is going on? Just coaching, guys. You know, thinking about the next things for the Painters Academy, trying to add value, trying to fix problems for our members. And, you know, I've got the same kind of problems you got, right? Growing pains. So when you bring on folks, and I had to bring on somebody to help me with management. So I'm not a good manager, boy. I am not. Ask any of my employees. They'll tell you, he's not the best manager. I'm really good at what I do, and I like to hire people that are good at what they do, and I like them to go do it. But that is not the best philosophy for getting the most out of people, and it does not work as well. And so you end up sacrificing a whole lot of camaraderie and what else? Development opportunity if you're not geared like a manager, and I'm just not. And so I'm a technician, a coach, a consultant, marketing, sales, operations, building systems. I enjoy that stuff. I love bringing people together, but there comes a point where you just can't do it all, and some of it maybe you shouldn't do at all. And so it's been fun. It's been a fun, interesting 7 or 8 months, and we're already in a better position than we've been in membership ever coming out of the summer. So we're headed in the right direction, and good things are going to follow, I do believe. So what's going on with y'all? Ain't gonna be long. You know what time it's gonna be? It's gonna be Halloween. It's gonna be Halloween. What are you gonna dress up as? I wanted to dress up like the Joker, like the old 1990s Batman Jack Nicholson Joker, because I'm losing my hair, and I figured if I slicked it back real good and if I shaved, which my wife and kids are like adamantly against me shaving, so I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. I don't know. Otherwise, I'll just have to dress up however my wife tells me, which, it's good policy, probably anyway. What else? Got Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas. Oh, burned the first fire a little prematurely in my office, which is always my way of ushering in the winter. I heat my house with a wood burning stove most days. I mean, a lot of times it's just not around here. It just doesn't get cold enough. And, you have to open up all the windows. You're just wasting wood. So I hang out in there a lot. We've been having a lot of social interactions here lately. What else? Politics. I've been involved in politics heavily. You want me to tell you about that? Because sometimes y'all love it when I talk politics. So I'm going to, okay? We'll talk politics. We'll talk some Tennessee politics. See how you like that? So what I've noticed in painting over the years, when men get to be pretty successful in what they've done in business, and women, often they want to put their mark on the community or give back to a specific cause, something to that effect, really get involved in something from a civic standpoint. And so in 2020, I started a publication called the Tennessee Conservative News. And we have virtually no conservative media outlets in this nation. They're almost all corporately funded. Whatever they hear, what you hear from the government, like you hear from the corporations and vice versa almost. I mean, it's a weird thing. It wasn't like that when I grew up. And so we're in the middle of the 2020 stuff. And so I cooked up this Tennessee Conservative, and long story short, we were able to, through 2 extraordinary medical freedom sessions of the General Assembly, we were able to repeal all the COVID-era nonsense, almost like 89% of it. And our news publication that I spun up and put a lot of money into was instrumental in that, and has been in a lot of policy changes. Recently, I was involved in a campaign where I helped a candidate unseat one of the most powerful yet terrible members of the Republican Party in Tennessee, Patsy Hazelwood. She's just terrible. Voting record was terrible, completely out of alignment with the GOP primary voters. And so we gave her an early retirement party. Hear, hear. And things like that excite me. Like it's my civic involvement. I think a lot of conservatives, Christians, and business owners, I don't care if you're a Democrat, it makes no difference to me. I got friends on both sides of the aisle, but I'm conservative. It used to be a long time ago in this country, you could talk about your differences and not throw things or raise your voice or go cuckoo. Those days are over, right? And I hang out with, talk to friends on both sides of the aisle. Our Tennessee Holler publication here in Tennessee, I call the guy up. We have pleasant conversations. We argue a little on the phone. But you know what? I like to know people and make friends with folks, even if I disagree. And I found that to work pretty well in business and in life. So that's what's going on with me. This has been, like I said, it's a BS session. BS session. I don't get to BS with people day to day. And it's something I miss and I hate because I'm so efficient and so busy. And I've got so many things to do, and they are many things that are not alike, and I have to process them efficiently and quickly. And so whenever I'm helping somebody on the phone or on a Zoom call, like, I'm just like laser focused on what is going on here right now. What do we need to do? What have you not done? What can we change? What's missing? What's the plan over the next 30 days? Where are your systems weak? Is there a problem with you? Like, are you being lazy? Are you being lazy? Are you just, are you not managing your time? Whatever. Like, I'm serious about it. I don't, I know a lot of coaches, consultants fill up a bunch of empty space, and I'm not going to do that to my clients. And so I never feel like I get to just chit chat with anybody. Now, I did get to chit chat, and it was lots of fun in San Antonio. Boy, now that was a fun trip. I can't believe I'd almost failed to mention that. We had a peer group retreat in San Antonio. It's our first time we've ever done this. I don't know how many we had, 17 business owners, 18. I mean, it's just a small little group. But we went to the Alamo, which I just had a blast. We saw a lot of interesting sights, took in what do they call that area down there where the river is? The River Walk. That was fun. Lots of live music down there. I was impressed with San Antonio. I'd go back again. And it was very affordable. I liked the hotel we stayed in. All around good trip. Had a lot of fun. Did not murder our participants with the schedule, which is kind of what happens at Summit. There's just so much to do, and we only get together one big meeting a year, and it's just cram-packed. But it was great. I got to cut up and talk with people and go eat with folks and go do some fun stuff. And I mean, not that it wasn't tiring and exhausting, because they always are, but it's just so fun to see how far our members have come. I mean, there's some people in that group that had these monumental, huge challenges 18 months ago, and they don't have them anymore. They have kicked the ass of this, that, and the other problem or opportunity, and you're like, this is paying off. Sometimes people make a lot of incremental changes because that's how they are. They're plotters, and I'd rather deal with a plotter. But then sometimes you have people that just like they just bump around here, and then they'll go, what? And then they'll fix a bunch of stuff, and then they just kind of bumper along for a while. And so we had some bumper alongers that finally got things moving in the right direction. And then we got a lot of incremental improvement. And over 10 years, you start looking at it, and it's like, well, that's pretty darn substantial. What these people have gone, 300,000 to 3 million, going from being in debt to making over $1 million, and everything in between. I mean, doubling, tripling income. Not that it doesn't create problems. Boy, it does. I don't know. I have to tell you the truth. This is a BS session. Causes problems, right? As soon as you fix your marketing problem, you got a recruitment problem. And then you probably got a sales problem because you can't get to all the leads. And then as soon as you build up a bunch of work, you got a cash flow problem. Now you're going to have to hire an administrative assistant. Like, it just, one thing leads to another, right? You're climbing one problem, one challenge at a time. And people don't like that. They think it's like that you're not going to have to continually and constantly work on a business to some degree until you really scale it enough to get true leadership in the business, which is expensive. They think it's going to be overnight success. And I'm like, it's not. You didn't mess it all up in a day. You ain't going to be able to fix it in a day. All right. Now listen, if I don't get any comments on this, and if nobody subscribes, and if I don't get at least a couple of emails saying, hey, I like the BS session, I'm not going to do it anymore. So I don't know if it's appropriate or not. And I don't know if you care or if this has even been interesting to you. But I'm just talking to you. It's a one-way conversation, obviously. Kind of how I talk when I just sit around and BS with people. I got a very scattered, eccentric speech pattern. I understand. But I'm all right. I can get along and go along in a crowd. And I'm hoping I get to see some of y'all in the crowd at the Painting Profit Summit. We're about to release tickets for all that. And I should have already had it done. But I did that webinar. It just consumed my time. I had a couple other projects this week. I'm getting there. We should, early next week, we should be able to get that thing out the door. And so you can get your tickets as cheap as you'll ever be able to get them with the pre-day code. So be looking in your text messages and your emails. I'll try to send that out. And if you watch these videos and somehow, some way, you're not on our list and you just kind of occasionally see these videos or watch them, binge watch them, I don't know what y'all people do. Then You really don't get to hear from us like you should. If you go to the website, though, there's a little subscribe button. We've got a really good free report there. There's a handful of other lead magnets scattered all over the inner tube. And get on our list, or heck, just fill out the contact form or email me and say, hey, put me on the email list. My email's brandon@paintersacademy.com. Brandon@paintersacademy.com. Just shoot me an email. Email me. Say, hey, I like those BS sessions. Man, that was a waste of time. If I ever see BS session again, I ain't listening to that crap. That was terrible. You just tell me. You be the judge. You're the consumer. I'll let you vote. Now, I may do it anyway, but I'll let you vote. That's the beauty of business ownership, right? All right, guys. Love you, mean it. Holler at you next time. Bye-bye.